know, Doyle, I'm reading here, I think this is one of the most profound things that you've said among the many that you've said. In Super System on page 19, it says, a man's true feelings come out in a poker game. Tell us about that.
Well, that's true, because I think in a poker game, people let their guard down. They let their true personality come out. You'll see maybe a doctor or a lawyer, and he'll just be giggling like a kid. He'll, be just having a good time. And you bluff at a guy, and if you show him, then you get the idea of his personality, whether he's a hostile person or whether he graciously says, well, nice play or so forth. And I don't believe in a lot of talk at the poker table, but if it's someone I don't know, I do try to talk to them just a little bit, just to get the feeling of who they are. And you'll get a good idea of the nature of the guy you're playing with. And the first time that there's a stress situation, it goes back to reading people, that people usually react the same way in a stress situation, regardless of who they are.
Right.
So when you go back in your subconscious and remember about how the same type player reacted in the same situation, you've got a pretty good line on that guy immediately.
In addition to getting this immediate tell, you're kind of, even though you're not talking to the table, you're engaging the player just in order to have an idea of how he might react later. That's dynamite. But in general, players also, under stress when they're bluffing, will have a hard time talking casually anyway about other things. They're so focused on the fact that they're in danger that they will have trouble just carrying on a casual conversation. So what makes a great poker player, part of the elements, is how you can relate to how your opponents are acting under stress.
Yes, that's right.
You know, more money is lost by players trying to get even in a poker game than you can possibly imagine. There is nothing magical about getting even. It's a long poker game. It will go on for years and years and years, and getting even for the night should not be your goal and can be very destructive. In fact, you know, if the conditions are poor, trying to chase that mystical level so that you win $100 or $2 or 50 cents in order to cash out is just plain silly. And what happens is, when you're losing, there's a good chance you're in a bad game. There might be a reason you're losing. You're in a bad game. So the worst thing about manufacturing wins is you tend to play trying to get even in the worst games, and you tend to get out when you're winning in the best games just to keep your streak alive. Do not try to get even. You know what? You're already even. It never matters. You're always where you are. See, where you were 2 hours ago or 2 weeks ago doesn't matter. You're even when the next deal begins.
I can't remember whether I was winner or loser when I played 5 days and nights. I believe I was loser, though.
You thought you were losing? Did you eventually get even and cash it out?
I don't remember that, but I know I was loser for a lot, most of the time.
And I've done that too. I've stayed just because I get stubborn and I want to beat a game. Now that's years ago, actually. I think most of us when we're younger are more reckless and we're more willing to put that energy in, but it becomes a goal. As we grow older, we don't tend to be as reckless. But I wish when I was a lot of years younger, I could, reflect then on the things I know now. And money does matter, and building your bankroll and keeping it matters a lot. And trying to get even in the course of the game, that's not a goal you should have.
I would just like to be younger.